Section 6 of Tales of the Samurai by Asataro Miyamori. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Read by Tom Booker. Katsuno's Revenge, Part 3. Tsuda Hachiya was now 31. He was born the son of a farmer, but being a handsome, well-educated lad, in his 16th year he had been appointed to the post of page in the household of Nobuyuki, who soon began to treat him with great fondness. The young samurai devoted his leisure hours to a further study of literature, and to the practice of fencing, and as he speedily evinced marked administrative ability, such as was rarely found among the intellectually ill-trained samurai of those days, he rapidly rose in the service, until now, while still a young man, he was both prime counselor and steward, and exercised great authority. But notwithstanding the rank and power that might well have turned the head of one so young, he behaved modestly in public and private, and served his lord with all faithfulness and diligence, gaining thereby the admiration of the whole clan for his character and virtues. One evening Hachiya presented himself before his lord at the latter's urgent summons. "Hachiya," began Nobuyuki abruptly, with a pleasant smile, "I think it is high time for you isn't it?" "Excuse me, my lord, I do not understand you," said Hachiya with a puzzled look. "That important affair of yours." "That important affair of mine?" echoed the young man, more puzzled than before. "Aha! How dull-witted you are today! The Katsuno affair." Hachiya did not speak. It was not the first time that Nobuyuki, who was enthusiastic over the question of Hachiya's marriage, had offered to act as middleman between him and Katsuno. Far from objecting to the proposed bride, Hachiya's inclination pointed that way, but his prudence, however, had hitherto prevailed, and he remembered the saying, "A full moon is sure to wane." His appointment as prime counselor over the heads of older men was already calculated to give offense. Should he marry Katsuno, the acknowledged beauty of the clan, would he not still further give cause for jealousy and ill-feeling? Moreover, he was not ignorant of Shichiroyamon's mad attachment, and had no desire to provoke his resentment. Therefore, on various pretexts, he had month after month evaded his lord's importunity. "Do you again say, 'until next month'?" said Nobuyuki, half threateningly, as the young man remained silent. "Think not to deceive me in that way." Hachiya did not answer. His head was bent in respectful attention. "Answer me at once! Still silent? Tell me, do you dislike the girl?" "Oh, no, my lord, but I fear her refusal." "Is that all? Set your mind at rest on that score. I have sounded her. Poor girl! Since the white-eye incident her sickness has become worse, and she has grown quite thin." Observant and sympathetic, Nobuyuki had found out that Katsuno was lovesick for Hachiya. "Do not tease me, my lord. I will tell you of my real reasons for this hesitation." And with this preface, Hachiya gave his reasons, at each one of which the older man gave a little nod of comprehension. "I admire your prudence and forethought," he said when Hachiya ceased speaking. "But remember, you can never do anything if you think so much of the feelings of others. As for that doting old Shichiroyamon, do not fear him. I have set my heart on your happiness, and I never do things by halves. It is my wish also to give Katsuno the desire of her heart. But as it is so near the close of the year, we will postpone the marriage till the new year, and then I will listen to no more denials. Yes, yes, that is what we will do, Hachiya." So saying, Nobuyuki summoned a maid, and in a low voice gave an order. Presently a bottle of sake and some cups were brought in. Then the fusuma between this and the next room was gently slid open, and there appeared a beautiful young woman clad in a gay uchikake, or gown, who knelt with movements full of grace on the threshold. It was none other than Katsuno. "What is your pleasure, my lord?" said she, bowing reverently first to Nobuyuki, and then to Hachiya. "Ah, is it Katsuno? I want you to serve us with sake. Sit nearer to me, Hachiya. Come, let us have some sake." "Excuse me, my lord. Something tells me I am needed at home. Besides, it is getting late. With your kind permission, I will go home at once." "No, no, not just yet, Hachiya. Though it is late, no loved one is waiting for your return, I imagine. Ha! Come, you cannot refuse. Katsuno, pour him out a cup of sake." Katsuno hesitated bashfully, but on Nobuyuki's repeating his command, she took the bottle, and with a hand that trembled filled Hachiya's cup to the brim. Their eyes met, and both blushed consciously. "If you have drunk, let Katsuno have the cup," said Nobuyuki. "I should return the cup to your lordship." "No, I will have it after her. Give it to Katsuno." Hachiya had no choice but to do as he was told, and accordingly offered the cup, into which he had poured more sake, to the maid of honor, who, overcome with shyness, took and sipped it with difficulty. "Give it to me." Nobuyuki drank off 3 cupfuls, and then said with a sly laugh, "I am mightily glad you have thus exchanged the wine cups of betrothal. Ha! Ha! You have my hearty congratulations." The young lovers prostrated themselves in acknowledgment of his favor, but even as they did so the loud clang, clang of the alarm bell broke the stillness of the night, and caused them all to start up to listen. "What can it be?" exclaimed Hachiya, opening the shoji to look out. No need to ask that question. The lurid sky, the quickly rising flames, and showers of falling sparks proclaimed all too surely a house on fire. "A fire, my lord, and not more than 5 cho beyond the pine trees on the bank of the moat. I must go at once." "No doubt as to its being a fire," said Nobuyuki, looking out also. "Is it not in your direction?" "Allow me to leave your presence. I fear it is as you say." "Then lose no time. I will give the necessary instructions to the fire commissioner myself." With a hurried word of thanks and apology to his lord and Katsuno, Hachiya left the apartment and ran home at the top of his speed. A fierce wind had arisen, and whistled through the branches of the tall old pine trees. Louder and louder clanged the iron-throated bell. His fears were all too surely realized. He reached his home only to find it wrapped in flames. A detached room where he had been wont to study was already reduced to ashes, and the fire had caught on to the main building. The trees in the garden were also burning, and as the wind shook the branches they let fall a shower of sparks. A number of samurai and firemen were doing their utmost with squirts and rakes to get the fire under, but against the fierce flames fanned to fury by the strong wind, their efforts were of little avail. Hachiya involuntarily heaved a deep sigh of despair. But there was no time to delay. It was imperative that he should venture into the burning building and save, if possible, important documents and ancestral treasures, as well as some highly valued gifts he had received from his lord. As he rushed through the front gate, a dark form sprang from the shade of a great pine tree and plunged a sword into his side. Before Hachiya could draw his own weapon, the assassin gave him another thrust through the heart, and the young counselor fell lifeless to the ground. The charred body of the hapless samurai was found in the ashes of his ruined home. End of section 6.